What is the content marketing journey? This has often been referred to as the customer journey, an audience journey, or even a content marketing funnel. But at the end of the day, what you're really talking about, or the actual definition of the word journey, is going from one place to another. And so today, I want to kind of break down what that looks like for you as a creator, whether you're creating podcast episodes, YouTube videos, or blog posts. Have you thought about the actual journey that someone goes through from one place to another whenever they're consuming your content? So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today. And like I said, we're going to talk about the content marketing journey and what that can look like. I actually have some examples that I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to the computer and break down what it really looks like whenever I am taking someone from my podcast and into my funnels, because I could tell you all day long, theoretically, how this is supposed to work. I could put charts and graphs and all kinds of cool things up here to help you visualize it, but I'm not all about the theories around here. I want to show you how this actually works, and then you can decide whether it will work for your content and your processes. So let's go to the computer and I'm going to show you how it's done. Okay, so I wanted to show you what it would look like from the podcast experience, because this is the one that I get asked about so often. So if you were listening to my podcast on whatever podcast player you're listening, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, any of those, you would have a similar episode description. It looks a little funky here because it's not formatted correctly online, but it would look a little bit different on the phone. I'll take a screenshot so you can see it on the screen, what it would look like. But I just want to show you. So what we have here is we have my artwork. We have the actual description of what's going on in this episode. Then we have some of the links to the podcast ads that I have running on this particular episode at this time. And then we have some dynamic content down here, and this is for an ad that I have created for one of my own affiliate promotions, and it is something that won't always be there. It's date specific, and it will go away whenever I delete it off of there. So if we're looking at this from the perspective of okay, well, the journey is simple. Someone just listens to the podcast. Well, it's more than that, right? Because I have calls to action in here. The simplest one is subscribe or follow the show. This is very important. You always need to have CTAs. Make sure you check out this video right here, all about how to add CTAs to your content and what that can look like. But I think it's super important to have a few CTAs within your episodes that are very specific to what you want people to do or your promotional calendar. So this one just happens to be at a time where I want someone to join this free workshop, this free boot camp that's being offered. And this is part of the dynamic content that I have. So that's one way to increase the customer journey and just add more value to it. But the other way is here on the episode website. So this is where I'm a big believer in podcast show notes. You can watch this video right here, all about how to create podcast show notes and your episode descriptions and just how to make them better, how to zhuzh them up a little bit and have a better experience for your audience. But I'm actually going to click on this and we're going to navigate over here, because I believe that this is a really big part of the customer journey. So when I click on the link and go to the show notes, and I think it's really important that you should call out your show notes either by the URL or the link that people should go to, or just tell people you can go to the episode description and find the show notes for this episode. Tell people where to go, basically. We cannot assume that people know exactly where to go every single time. I feel like over almost 400 episodes in, my audience knows really well where I'm trying to get them to go. I've told them this is where to find the show notes, but you really need to train your audience in knowing where to go. But once we get here, as you can see, there's a lot of opportunities in this particular content marketing journey, because I have a header up here that is also highlighting the promotion that I'm doing at this time. So we had the first dynamic content. Now we have the header up here at the top that people could have the opportunity to log in, or sorry, not log in, opt in to this promotion. And then we come down here a little bit. You can see, okay, there's my show notes. Here's basically the exact same information that we saw on Apple Podcast. But then there's even more. So there's added benefits to people coming here. We have a little bit of a blurb about what, it's highlighting what was in the episode, but explaining it even more. Here's another opportunity for a freebie that I have. And then here's the actual bullet points of what I went through. So, this is the editing, customer journey, practicing gets better. So it's like taking the big chunks of what we talked about in this episode and putting it in a blog type of format. And then come down here, and then there's even more. I'm also linking back to other resources that are old podcast episodes. I'll link to YouTube videos. I'll link to other people's websites or other things that I've mentioned in this episode. And it's increasing that know, like, and trust factor with my audience by providing helpful resources. I cannot stress this enough, that it's one thing to put out a really good podcast episode or YouTube video, but you really go above and beyond whenever you continuously deliver helpful resources to your audience. So I like to do this. It's kind of the icing on the cake, above and beyond just being prepared and, delivering something consistently of value. I like to go above and beyond that. But let's explore what else is here in this journey. So I have affiliate placements on these web pages. So that's what that is. This is a low ticket product that I have. This is a $27 product that I like to include in my show notes. I have my book here, which I promote on all of my podcast show note pages, as well as other helpful links that I want people to go on. So this is another part of the journey, is just adding more value and resources. And then I also have previous episodes that you can see down here, comment section. And then I have another opportunity. This is actually starts the footer of the episode description. So the blog post, this is on all of my blog posts right now because it's the way I am promoting this specific workshop, bootcamp. And I have decided to utilize this one page to have all of these different promotions, but it's not super salesy and in your face because it's at the right part in the journey. And then, like I said, this is just my regular footer for weekly updates. And then it has all of my other links down there. So if we go back up to the very top, what does this content marketing journey look like? I am pushing for a promotion. I have it front and center above the fold. I have it embedded within the actual episode. And then it's here again where people are listening to the podcast. They're going to see and hear this dynamic content and be able to click on this link. I also have another freebie there, as well as linked, if I can scroll, down here at the bottom. So that's 3 really prominent places for me to have a content marketing journey that is serving what I'm currently promoting. Now let's move over to YouTube real fast and I want to show you what this looks like. Okay, so I had to pause real fast just to ask, what type of content are you creating? Tell me in the comments below. Are you doing podcast episodes, YouTube videos, blog posts, social posts, email newsletters? Like, tell me what you're creating in the comments because I'm just super curious. Okay, let's get back to the video. So this is the back end of one of my recent YouTube videos that I wanted to just kind of show you what the journey looks like. I'm not going to play this video, obviously. I'll link to it in the video description of this video. But what I want to show you is what I've done on the back end to help this video be successful, but also point people in the right direction for what to do next. Because I make these calls to action within the actual video. Hey, go check out these resources. Go, these are the platforms that I've used. I specifically call out 2 softwares that I use for a podcast. And I just want to make sure that that is the front and center thing that people see when they go to the video description. Because, let's be honest, it's secondary to what I want people to do. I want people to watch the video and then great, if they go do something else of one of the calls to action, that's fantastic. But what I'm really trying to get people to do is watch the video and subscribe to my channel. So that is the really big picture that I have. So I make those calls to action several times in the video. Actually, if you're not subscribed here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? It's as simple as that. But I really wanted to push on some of these other platforms that I've used because people ask me about these all the time. So as you can see, like after you watch the video, check out these resources mentioned. There's nothing that I'm selling, like those aren't affiliate links right there. I do have other affiliate links listed below. But again, I like to add value, add resources that people can rely on and trust because then they're more likely to come back and consume more of my content. So that's what I've done there. And then as you can see down here, I do have plenty of affiliate links. And I actually probably need to like zhuzh this up a little bit. I love that word, zhuzh. I gotta zhuzh it up a little bit, but I gotta clean it up because I mean, there's a lot. I have a lot, but I also I love these resources and I always talk about them. So I wanted to have them here just very front and center for people to check them out. And then we'll come down here and I have, social links and everything here. All of this is part of the customer journey. The content marketing journey. See, I told you earlier, it's audience journey, customer journey, content marketing journey. They're all interchangeable. It's really just based on the goals that you're trying to achieve. But I can tell you right now that in making these calls to action and having these things listed in my video description, so many of you have joined my free Facebook group and started following me on Instagram and send me an email with your questions about podcasting or YouTube. So this works. That's really what I want to say is if you have not mapped out the journey that you want someone to go on after they've consumed your content, you should really think about this. And I want you to watch this video here, if you haven't watched it already, about having a content marketing funnel, because I think that it's really important for you to map it out. Like physically draw it. I show a picture in the video where I drew my marketing funnel because I needed the visualization. I needed to know, well, after people watch something, after people listen to my podcast, where do I want them to go? What am I trying to get them to do? So I want you to think about these things as well as you're creating your podcast episodes, your YouTube videos, your blog post. Actually step out the things that you want people to do and where you want them to go in the journey. And I also want you to go check out, I recently did a podcast episode all about this, and it includes my very first marketing meditation. But the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to imagine that Genesis moment when someone discovers who you are and what you're all about. I'm actually taking you on a visual meditation. It's an audio meditation where I'm asking you to visualize how you imagine this working for your audience. And I think it's a really fun experience. You should go check it out. Listen to the Proffitt Podcast. I'll have it linked below as well. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe below so you don't miss our future videos all about content strategy and creating with confidence. Make sure you check out these other videos right here. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.